Hi, Dennis O'Keefe, Successful Money Strategies. I wanted to talk to you today about living trusts. I get a lot of phone calls about this, a lot of clients that are starting through the financial planning process and have questions about living trusts, how they work, what they do. So I wanted to kind of go over some things. I'm sure you have questions as well as you're planning your own retirement. What should I be looking for? Should I be looking at a living trust? Going back to Old English law, and that's where all of this kind of starts, is we have something called a will. And everybody knows what a will is. We think about it in Hollywood, and there's the reading of the will, and they all get together in the attorney's office, and he says, I leave this to this person. That doesn't quite happen that way, but a will acts the same way it acted 500-600 years ago in England. Is you write down, I would like my property to go to X when I pass away. It's that simple. It's probably anywhere from 2 pages to 6 pages long, but it's a fairly simplistic document. Now, here's the trick about a will is, well, first of all, it goes through probate. Let's talk about that real quick. Is probate, especially in Massachusetts, which is where I'm from, it's lengthy. It's probably a year or more to go through probate. It's worse when it's property, real estate. It's expensive. There are court costs, which aren't that much, but most cases you're hiring an attorney at several $100s an hour to do the work, and that gets very expensive very, very quickly. And it's also very public, is anybody can go to the court and see what's going on. They can read your will, they can see who's getting what, they can make a protest on that, and most people don't want that to happen. They want to keep things quiet. So a lot of people look at a living trust. But let me get to one more point, is not every asset goes through your will. For instance, if I have life insurance and I name my wife as beneficiary and I name my children as successor beneficiary, that doesn't go through my will. My will doesn't say my life insurance has this because the life insurance already knows where it's going. My IRA and 401k, same thing for you, is you have a beneficiary on that. Well, when you pass away, it doesn't pass through the will. That money goes directly to where it's supposed to go. Directly, without pass and go, without paying $200, it goes right to that heir. So wouldn't it be great if there was a way to take all of the rest of our assets and get a beneficiary on it? And that's effectively what a living trust does. It allows us to have a beneficiary statement on the rest of our assets. So if you were to read through somebody's living trust, while it's probably 3 or 4 times as long, it's pretty much a will. When I die, I want this person to get this money. If they're not around, I want this person. If they're under 18, I want these provisions. All of that is built into the trust, but it avoids probate, and that's its most effective thing that it does, is it avoids the probate. It avoids the cost, it avoids the time, it avoids the publicity. Now, are there downsides? Yes, there are. One is it's expensive. Drafting a trust is probably 3 times as much as drafting just a will. So there's a cost issue that you need to be aware of. Is the cost worth it? In a lot of cases, yes. Obviously, if it's worth it, we do it, and if it's not, we don't. But in a lot of cases, it is. Number 2 is if you have real property, real estate, and it has a mortgage against it, or some sort of loan, home equity, whatever it is, it can be complicated to get that asset into your trust. So you need to be aware of that. A couple other things is during your lifetime, the trust is you and you are the trust. It is completely revocable, which means everything is taxed to your social security number and your tax return, and it's effectively your money. And the one thing it does not do because of that is protect you against any sort of nursing home or Medicaid liens. And people need to be aware of that because they're usually thinking about, oh, we need to worry about that. I need to get a living trust to protect me from Medicaid, and it will not. A separate kind of trust, and there's a bunch of different types of trusts out there, but a separate kind of trust called a irrevocable, or as attorneys say, irrevocable, because they want to make things between revocable and irrevocable confusing, is an irrevocable trust. You can't revoke it. It's stuck there. And any assets you put in, you can't get back out, and that's what you utilize to protect money from Medicaid liens. It's serious. So if I'm 60 or 65 or even 70, I'm not looking at an irrevocable trust in order to protect my assets. I want to look at the revocable trust. Now, there are a bunch of other reasons why you would use a revocable living trust. I don't have all the time to get into that right now. There are a myriad of other reasons. There are things that are becoming more and more important as the years go by, as demographics change in terms of how we hold our money, our views and our opinions on what we want to have happen with our money when we pass away. And all of that is very much suited towards the living trust. But if you do have specific questions on your situation, if you have questions about how this fits into the rest of your financial plan, there's a button down below. There's a place to click that you can click, and it'll take you through and set up a phone call of about 15 to 20 minutes with me. We can talk about your situation, see what's going on, see what you might need, how we might be able to help you, if at all, but kind of get answers to the questions that you might have. But I encourage you, click that link down below, give us a call, and we can talk. Thank you.